Since their legendary performances on the Isle of Wight, The Who have always had a devoted following in our region, but nowhere more so than in Brighton. Today, the band's frontman, Roger Daltry, was back to leave his mark once more, officially opening the Music Tunnel, celebrating the city's most famous performers. The seafront subway once led to one of Brighton's hottest venues, where The Who played many of their early gigs.
In the 60s, we kind of felt like a Brighton band. This was the Florida Rooms here, which is now the Aquarium. It was a gig we used to play at least once a week. This kind of subway here that they've decorated was where we used to carry the gear in every night. And I was the roadie, so I remember this very well.
The Music Tunnel is the brainchild of record producer David Courtney, who's worked with many of the stars depicted on the walls.
It's not a money-making venture. It's purely done to pay tribute to all those legendary people associated with the city.
The murals were painted by students from the University of Brighton, working through the night when the subway was closed to the public.
Knowing Roger was coming down and painting his face was probably the most daunting, and especially varnishing it at the end to protect it. Taking a paintbrush straight down his face and hoping that it didn't all smudge down.
I picked her primarily because she's like a very attractive woman. I loved her big hair, her big eye makeup, like she's quite eccentric, and I thought that would work well to use for my image.
It was the classic film Quadrophenia, based on The Who's album, which immortalised the band here.
That's turned into a classic British film now. We couldn't have had a better backdrop than Brighton to film it in.
Today, another up-and-coming band, Super Lungs, played out Roger Daltry. Proof, if proof were needed, that Brighton still rocks. Malcolm Shaw for Meridian Tonight.